All right. Happy Thursday. Welcome back to another live stream. We have made it to see another day. Oops. Oops. There we go. All right, we got Husky in the house, aka Liam in the house. That's his aka. Only I can call him Liam. You guys don't know him though. No, I'm just kidding. Good to see you, Husky. As usual, we will wait to get started on these inspections. We have two of them to do for this live stream. So 201 TC, so the M-Tronic version of the 201. It's got the whole smart carb and tele carb, whatever you want to call it. And then a 261 regular, meaning not a C. So if you see 261 and 261C, the C just means that it's an M-Tronic version. So or on other Stihl models, if you see the C, it just means that it has a comfort feature of some sort. So easy start, or the quick easy chain adjust, whatever you want to call it. But those will also have another letter on it as well, so like CBE and CB and things like that. But for the pro models, if you see the C, it means that it's an M-Tronic. This is a new Yeti cup or a mug, whatever you want to use it for. I'm using it for coffee. For one, it's my favorite color, and two, my girlfriend got it for me for Valentine's Day, so that was very nice of her. So I've had Yeti products in the past, like the water bottle, the big one in the brick red, I believe it was. So it's a light, darker red, really nice. They don't make it anymore. And so she got me a Yeti. I believe this is a, I don't know how many ounces. I think 32 ounce, maybe. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. It's actually good coffee. Let me take a couple more sips. Husky says, I didn't know you were in a skid steer. Also says, yo, thanks for subscribing to my channel. Of course. Thank you. So yeah, I for a short time there, I was helping my buddy Victor, owner of TreeX Tree Service Company, pick up and transport heavy equipment. So they a lot of tree service guys, they use the skid steer. That's what they like, with the grapple bucket. And so I got a chance to go pick that up in Napa and then load it up for him, and then we both took it to the next job site. Actually, I think that day we went to go return it back to the rental place. We got Alexa's Mazak in the house. Says, why is the wonder never know the answer? The sheen is shiny. It's going to blow the show. What? Anyways, much love to everybody joining in. Much love to Alexis. I'm not really following the comment. I apologize. I'm a little slow sometimes. That just didn't make too sense for you. Russian Republican says it's bad for you. I'm not sure what we're talking about here. Anyways, much love to the Russian Republic. And we got Raul Mendez in the house. Asking what's better, Stihl or Echo? I mean, I feel like that's a loaded question for me because you guys already know I'm a disgusting Stihl fanboy, but I also really like Echo in general. They make really good engines. I really like their 2511T. I have one personally. It's the TN version, so there's two versions of it, the T and the TN. The T comes with the standard 3/8 low profile chain. The TN version comes with that new, I mean, it's been around for a little while, but it's new, the little mini 325. or the 325 low pro chain. That's literally the only difference. And then the worm gear is a little different as well. But they're the same saw, same everything. But I really like that little Echo. It's a ripper, especially after you open it up with the good muffler mod. Whether you modify the stock muffler or you put on an Egan straight pipe or the West Coast, and then a lot of guys, that's how I run mine with a quarter pitch conversion. Really good saw, and they have other good saws too. That's just the one that I have experience with, and then I really like them for their trimmers, hedge trimmers, line trimmers, aka weed whackers, and their leaf blowers are amazing too. Really good power. They actually outperform the Stihls, and I actually do know that because I used to work at a power equipment shop, and one day I spent part of the day or a little bit of the day comparing Husqvarna, Echo, and Stihl, and both Husqvarna and Echo outdo the Stihls. So, and I think the Echoes and the Husqvarnas, they just sound better, and they definitely perform better than Stihl. And anyhow, so in this case, I'm gonna say Stihl for sure. When talking about chainsaws, Stihl for sure. But you know, top handles though, if I was to if I was to go buy a 194 or a 2511, I would personally choose the 2511 all day. So a lot more comfortable in the hand, lighter. I don't know, I like it a lot. That was a really long answer to a very short, simple question, but we got Moises Ramirez. They're asking in Spanish, ¿sabes por qué han enviaron el Stihl del MS261 cilindro antes la traen como honestamente no entiendo la pregunta. So he's asking me something about, why do you think Stihl, I think, went with a different cylinder design opposed to like the 271 and the 362. It's a different design. I'll be honest, I'm not too sure, but also too, I'm not really following the question. Husky says, much love to you, my friend, right back at you. And we got RPM Nitro in the house. What up, sir? Happy Thursday. Passerby, love my Stihl. I concur to that. Or I like my Stihls too. Love them. Husky says, makes good leaf blowers. I have an Echo leaf blower there. It rips. Yeah, they really do. They really do. We got It's Clear in the house. Hello, happy Thursday. Is asking, are you a welder? No, sir, I am not. Zach Akers says, hi, do you dip? I do not. I do not dip. I have in the past. I'll be honest, I've been kind of not craving it, but I've been kind of thinking like, man, it's been a long time though. I think the last time I dipped was back in 2013 or 14. But it's probably just from seeing everybody else, man, like my buddies, and they're, while they're working on saws and they're, they got a big old chaw, and it's just like, and I don't know, I like the taste of it, but I don't currently dip. And it's funny because I was just asking my girlfriend the other day out of, because she used to, and if she watches this, babe, I don't mean to put out our business. Does he doesn't got no girlfriend? She ain't even real. She's real. She's very real. I promise, she's real. No, but so so she used to smoke cigarettes. She smoked cigarettes for like a year or 2 years, not very long, but long enough, right? And so I don't know, just random conversation one day. We're laying there, and I was like, hey, I was like, how would you feel? Somebody's probably gonna be like, dude, you were like asking for an argument or what? Or like you were trying to, like, I don't know. I was like, hey babe, so how would you feel if I was like, hey babe, I feel like dipping, or or you found out that I was dipping, or just something along those lines. I actually forget what the actual, but I basically was just asking her like how she would feel if I picked up dipping again, and she literally said, I don't care. I said, huh? I'm like, what? I'm like, you wouldn't care? She's like, no. She's like, why would I? She's like, obviously it's not good for you. She's like, so I was expecting, honestly, like, oh, you fucking better not. You better chill. And so I was like, okay. But my girl's super chill, man, very supportive. The only thing she doesn't want me doing is drinking, and I completely agree with her because, you know, for those of you that know or don't know, alcohol for me is it's a constant battle for me. So to answer your question, because I can telepathically hear it, yes, I am an alcoholic, and I've been struggling with alcohol for quite some time now, and I've been doing a lot better than before her and I met, but I still struggle with it, and I still fuck up every now and then. So, but you know, I've taken to start going to AA on Thursdays, just to not to be all Mr. like, oh, let's work the steps, and you know, but I don't know, just to like find, you know, maybe, you know, hear somebody talk and just find some guidance. But yeah, so that's a little background, a little bit about me. That's so anyways, but that was funny. I was like, so how would you feel if I started dipping again? Because she knew that I used to a long time ago, and she's like, yeah, I don't care. But but alcohol though, that's a no. That is a no. And again, I completely agree, because it has caused nothing but problems in my life. So moving on. Again, another really long answer to a very short and simple question. We got Shelly in the house that says, hi, sir. I'm just assuming based off of the username, ma'am. But you know what? Much love to you, Shelly. Hello. Officially a silly goose 49. I like that username. It says, I'm back. Let's go. Hello. We got Banda TV. Dude, you used to pound my stepmom's ham wallet. What? Listen, I thought we were over this, and I thought we weren't going to talk about this anymore. Okay? I am sorry. Interesting comment, but you know what? Much love to Banda TV. Okay, let's go ahead and get this started, because I just want to get these inspections done, and that way I can move on to some more fun stuff for the next live stream. I don't think today, because it's already 4:33 my time. I got to go to that special meeting at 7:30. It's only an hour long. It's here in town. Okay. So this one runs, from what I remember, them telling me, it does not have the original bar nuts. This has like Echo style bar nuts. I've already taken the bars and chains off of these saws just for the sake of our live stream here. But where I'm going to start first is I'm going to remove the fan housing, or as some might know, the pull start. But this is the fan housing, and then underneath of it, or on the inside, is the rewind assembly. So like the pawls, the rope rotor, the rewind spring, and then of course, you know, the handle and all that good stuff. But he said something became loose, so now they can't turn it over. And the only time that I've seen something come loose is the flywheel, and that's usually not a good thing. So I'm going to start there first, but we're going to just go ahead and inspect everything else. Simple stuff. Good old magnetic tray. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and take off. Let me go grab my... Actually, you know what? But believe me, I have been thinking about that dip. Not every day, but I don't know why. It's just like I said, probably just from watching other people. And I never had a bad experience with dip, as far as, well, like when I first took my first dip, I accidentally swallowed it a little bit He said, what? Relax, people. And I got pretty shitty. I got sick. I didn't throw up or nothing, but I got nauseous. I did not feel good. That's why I see some people that are just, they dip and all that. So brand new air filter. And they swallow their dip. But I'm just like, man, that cannot be good for your gut. So there's the rewind assembly. So they call this a spring, but really to me, it's a clip. You got your two pawls that open up and they catch onto the flywheel. So those are working as they should. And then you got your rope rotor, and then underneath that is the rewind spring, and then of course you got your pull cord and then your handle. Huskies is asking, do you know a Husqvarna saw? Let's see, can we... That beats the 500i? I think that's what you're asking. VG says, you are so handsome. Please don't make me blush. But I appreciate the kind words. Okay, so and then Husky's also asking, can we please stop talking about this? Stop talking about what, sir? Okay. Probably about the dipping. See, here we go again. No, we cannot. I will stop talking about it when I'm kaput. I'm just kidding, Husky. And for those of you that don't know, Husky and I we know each other, man. We're, I've always kind of started saying that Husky's like that little brother. Kind of annoying, but you know what? You got love for him and whatever. He keeps you, in good spirit for the most part. So that's Husky right there. Husky says, no, I'm a Husqvarna side. I don't remember the name of the saw. Beat a 500i. I'm not sure. Maybe 572. So first thing, the flywheel is very loose. The nut is not even tightened down. And I'm literally undoing it with my finger. There's the nut. And there's the flywheel. So that's not good. Ooh. Ooh. The key has sheared off. So I believe that this flywheel is one of those like casted in keys, if that's how I remember the terminology. It's casted in, so it doesn't have a little key that you can remove that sits inside the crankshaft. This one's casted in, and from what I can see, it has a lot of rust. It's rusted out. The crankshaft is super rusty, but that thing is sheared right off. And it looks like some of it is like in the crankshaft. Good old handy dandy pick tool. Well, that's a problem too, because it looks like the key that's casted into the flywheel, it's like it snapped off and then it got wedged in the little groove of the crankshaft. So I need to figure out how to get that out, because at this point, even if I got a new we bought it a new flywheel, it's not going to sit into place. So that's going to be interesting. This is the first time I'm seeing this, and I know you guys aren't going to be able to really see it, Well, let me see. Let me see if I can bring you guys in a little bit. Not sure what all this little white particle stuff is here. Like, what is that? I mean, obviously they were cutting with it because the chain was all dirty and everything, and the saw. And just for reference, I've had this saw before come in, and let me show you guys what's going on, if I can. Let me clean off my camera. Is it clean? Oh, it's actually pretty clean. Okay. Wow. Wow. You guys see that? I know the focus is not going to be... So, that is the key. It snapped off from the flywheel. Because, again, these are the ones that are what they call the casted in. You see? It broke right off. A lot of rust. And it jammed into the flywheel there. So that's going to be interesting. Oh shit. I'm trying to like not cuss, because some people husky, I'm just kidding, they try to keep me reminded on not cussing. I've been trying to not cuss as well. So, but anyways, it's out. So that's fine. Okay, that was the real worry there. So it's gone. Husky's talking about, can you please stop talking about dip? And he's talking about drugs. Come on, Husky. Really, bro? So there we go. But this is not... This saw was just here not too long ago. And it was not rusty like this. So I don't know what the hell they did to this thing. And then you got all this little white particle stuff. That Husky over here shows what he's thinking about. No, I'm just kidding. Look, it's got all this white little powder, like little shiza all over it. Hey, we got M&G in the house. The man has some intel for us. So what he has for me, or what, you know, he was kind enough to go out of his way to run a serial number, which is the serial number from my from the shops, well, for my new 461 that I picked up through cash and trade for a total of $550. It's not new. It's new to me. It's a little dirty, but I think most of us, at least the ones that have seen it already, we can agree that it's a pretty saw. And after we clean it, and she healthy for show. Okay, Husky, M&G, what you got for me, sir? What you got? Am I gonna have some feds coming down and knocking on my door? What's going on? Because that's the thing, guys. It's always a risk buying stuff off of people. It doesn't matter where, eBay, marketplace. You never know, right? And that's just how it is. So this saw was bought. No way. Oh, let me take a screenshot of this because I like this. So the man MG, because he's got connections to be able to run information. And I used to have that access too, to run serial numbers and part numbers, because I had access to all that. Like they call it the dealer portal. And I had it for quite a while after I got fired from the power equipment shop. But then I think as a way to, I don't know, get back at me, and they knew that I was already running my little saw shop here, they made sure to take it all away. Because I had another coworker who had been fired for had been not working there for 2 years, he came back or something like that, and he still had he always had his Stihl access. But since they know your boy making moves over here, anyways, so M&G says the sale date was 3/27/2019, and then sold to a Bergen Smeding Pope Bergen in Smeding Pope Valley. Land taming. Okay, so in Pope Valley. Okay, I don't even know where that's at. I think because the person that I got it from, at least on their Facebook, it says that they were from Woodland. So I don't know if that's like the same area or what. And it's actually really cool. Now I'm really excited, even more excited that I got this saw because fun facts, just like little. So it was sold on 3/27. That's the day after my birthday. That's pretty freaking cool. Pretty freaking cool. So 19. So this thing's going to be almost 6 years old as far as like from the sale date. I'm wondering now when it got manufactured, like what year? Maybe 19? I don't know. Or maybe 2018. But from the research I've done before on the 461s, I think they got discontinued in what, 2020 or something. So not too long ago, but it's been a minute now. I think they got discontinued, meaning they stopped selling it and making it in 2020. So that's pretty cool also that the one that I got was a year before they stopped selling it. That's pretty cool. But M&G, I appreciate you, man, for running that serial number. I always definitely get hesitant when I see certain saws, or when I see saws come in, especially at the power equipment shop, and sometimes they'd be like shaved off, or part of the numbers would be like engraved out, and that also too would be like, okay, like why would somebody go out of their way to do all that? And at that point, why would you even do that? Because that's pretty obvious. If it, you know, if they were doing that for the reason that it was stolen or whatever, like that's pretty dumb. Like, but anyways, I would see that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's pretty badass. Sold in 2019 on March 27th, day after my birthday. Right on, dude. So we should try to cut something with that on my birthday, or on its birthday. Anyways, okay, I'm a freak. So the crankshaft looks fine. So the piece came out, but it definitely needs a new flywheel. And air filter's fine. I mean, this saw was just here not too long ago. So, I mean, it looks like it was ran a little bit, if any. Spark plug I know is going to be brand new, because I just put it on, like, what, a month ago? Or a few weeks ago? Not that long. But it's definitely been used. Some. Probably until the flywheel broke off. But I know the chain, I mean, I know this saw was run to some extent, because when this saw got, you know, before it left, like you guys already know, cleaned up the bar, everything inside the grooves, cleaned the chain, sharpened it, and it's dirty. So I'm not going to check anything else because I already know the condition of this saw. The only other thing that I'm going to check is the cylinder. I always like checking those. Hell yeah, man. Appreciate you, M&G. Also, Husky, sorry, my bad. Husky's says, did I tell you that I'm going to get a climbing saw? My dad's going to teach me how to use it. What are you going to get? Let me guess. A Husqvarna. No, I'm just kidding. You know, but that's cool, man. That's cool that you found something that you like, that you know, because it's like me. When I say, hey, guys, I got a new saw, almost any time you guys can assume or just guess that it's a Stihl. Because that's pretty true. But no, that's cool, man. What are you gonna get? A 540 or a? Well, that's really the only one that I know. Echo 2511. I think that'd be a great saw, man. That'd be a great saw to add to the collection. 2511. And I will fall over and faint if you tell me, oh, I'm getting a 201. I'd really be like, what in the world? Yeah, definitely ran this saw. But the spark plug's still like new. M&G says most saws have 3 locations for serial numbers: outside, inside. So yeah, the tags always definitely get torn off. I don't know why people try to leave them, because they're gonna get dirty and they're gonna. But yeah, usually like on the crankcase, right here, and then third location inside MM. I mean, and on a sticker that usually gets torn off. So the 3 locations, so yeah, the tag, the crankcase, and then what's the other one? I'm lost. Husky says, I will come for you. Oh boy. Husky says, I don't know, the plates are taken off of the brand stuff is all taken off. It's a clone Husqvarna. Might be a 540 then, in that case, which, hey, that's cool. Inside the crankcase. Ah, okay. Gotcha. Unset my invite. I'm getting at 201. Wait, what? You're getting a 201? Also, what? Okay, let's check out the cylinder sleeve. I just want to take a peek at it. That's fine. Well, what I mean by fine, it's good. Has not even one single mark on it. But then again, I already know that the saw. I mean, anything can happen in a few weeks, but the main problem is because the Flywheel did that. Which I was nervous, because anytime I've seen or I've had a Flywheel come off, the threads always get damaged. Or at least in my case, that's what happened to my buddy's 461, which is actually still here. It's been here, and he thought he had an extra. Well, he has an extra 461. I'm like, look, dude, I don't know what happened. I went out to test it, and the Flywheel just came right off. It sheared, or it stripped out the crankshaft, the threads on the crankshaft, and I was like, dude, I don't know what the hell happened. And he's like, oh man, he's like, well, I'll check and see. He's like, because I have an extra 461. He's like, if you think we can just swap it out for that, I'm like, yeah, absolutely, man. But the man is super busy. I mean, that dude stays hustling in the tree service. I mean, that's what he does. He's a tree guy. And so he's just been on the move, going out of state. And so we just haven't made any progress on that. So, because basically, if he doesn't have that 461 after all, then we're going to have to figure out, well, there's nothing to figure out. We got to get it a new crankshaft, but that's going to be a tricky one. So anyhow, so that's pretty much it. That's all I'm going to check for this. Everything else, I know it's fine. I mean, look at the air filter. It barely got ran at all. So the main problem here is that it needs a new flywheel. The 201, it's bogging out. So it's an M-tronic. So it could be kind of a number of things. So usually it's the metering diaphragm. It's stiff, and it just can't do its function anymore, which it just goes up and down with the pressure, and meters how much fuel is going through. But also too, it could be the solenoid valve. Sometimes those just start going out. But with the solenoid valve, it's really hard to just look at it and determine, yeah, this is bad. And sometimes, I mean, I think that's why, you can plug it into like the MGD, I believe. And sometimes it'll tell you, I I've never done the diagnostic software, but I think it tells you if it's bad or not. I'm not sure. But really the only other way to check is just to swap it out with a new one. Or if you really want to break it down, you can do a process of elimination. Start off with the metering diaphragm replacement, which in my opinion, if it hasn't been replaced in a long time, might as well just replace it. It doesn't cost too much. And if that doesn't do the trick, then try a new solenoid valve, or vice versa. If you want to try the solenoid valve first, try that first, and then so on and so forth. And then of course, you know, if you really want to be thorough, pressure test your lines and do everything else. But a lot of the times it's going to be one of those two, or sometimes maybe the coil, but that'll be like starting issues and, you know, cutting off and whatnot. Those Mtronics are interesting. I like them. I've learned a lot about those. And one of the things that I recently learned not too long ago, that was thanks to the man Aaron Lynch, because I was talking about, like, yeah, I'm just going to swap out the solenoid valve and put the new one in. And, you know, because there's 3 different versions. The black version, which is the very first gen. The green version, which is the Mtronic 2.0, second gen version, essentially. And then the newest is the 3.0, the red. Well, it's a white solenoid valve, and then it has a little red dot. So I've always thought, well, just upgrade it or just swap it out. Can't just do that. The solenoid valve has to correspond with the coil. The coil has to correspond with the solenoid valve. So if you're gonna go from a green to a red, you got to have the coil or ignition module that pairs with the red. Or if you're gonna go from black to green, same thing. You can't just swap them out. And so that's something that I learned. And I've done more research on that, and yeah, it's just interesting, man. Like, these saws, they have came a long way, but a lot of different things. It's a Husk. I guess you're just going to have to wait until I post a video on my channel. Hell yeah. Well, I'll be waiting, man. Either way, I'm sure it's gonna be a badass little saw. I mean, I haven't messed with any clone saws myself, but you know what? Why not? You know, I definitely wouldn't try to push that on a, you know, on a tree service guy or whatever. But I mean, I don't know. But for like personal use and whatever, I'll run one. Why not? Especially after seeing what the man Aaron Lynch can do to those things. Pulse Formas, Farmer Tech, whatever. I mean, hey, why not? All right, so let's just go ahead and put this back together. Well, as far as the clutch cover, and then we'll move into that 201 real quick. And that one, I'm going to check a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Check the cylinder sleeve, piston. Of course, we're going to check the metering diaphragm, so we're going to pull the carburetor and check that. And also see what version of the Mtronic it's running. I don't have any solenoid valves in stock or here at the shop right now, so probably going to have to order that. But I do have some 201s laying around. Like, I have my personal one now. And that I can at least pull the diaphragm off of, because they told me that it was just recently replaced. And I haven't even really inspected the saws that I just got, because if you guys remember, not too long ago, I also got a MS200T and a 201 Mtronic. So, and I just haven't had time to mess with them. And then I just recently got a 461. But enough about me. Nobody gives a crap, man. We're here for the inspections. We're here for the work. Bubble Bass. Bubble Bass says, how much to lather yourself in baby oil, sir? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah, guys, I think we've been catching that goofy algorithm. How much? We could discuss that at a different time, sir, okay? Oh, man. Brand new air filter. So this is pretty much where I'm going to start. Well, no, let's take off the clutch cover and then... This one did come with the bar and chain, but again, this one I also took off. But anyways, much love to Bubble Bass. And we got Morgan in the house that's asking, have you ever watched Triple X? Yeah, the movie with Vin Diesel? Definitely. One of my favorites. That Pontiac GTO. Whew. Before they did all that rocket launcher stuff, and what the hell? Like, this dude's cutting in dirt, or what the hell is that? Like, clearly it's dirt. Or like Husky says, maybe it's look, and there's rust all over this. Like, what? I don't know what they're doing with these saws. It's amazing. Sometimes I'm like, man. I mean, I know they're working saws, meaning, they're using them for work and they're just out there beating them, but this is like sand. This is straight up dirt. I get it. It's sometimes it's unavoidable, to hit dirt and stuff, but this is like, come on, man. Husky says, I'm telling you, it's cocaine. What do you mean by that? What? I don't know what you're saying, Husky. Moisés Ramírez says, ¿dónde consigues las motosierras o son de clientes para reparación? So, estas ahorita son de clientes. Pero yo tengo mis propias que yo tengo aquí, que algunas veces pues las enseño aquí. Pero mayoría de las veces, todo lo que mira aquí son de clientes. Pero cuando son mías, pues yo les digo, pero como estas ahorita son de clientes. So Moises was just asking, where do I get these chainsaws from? Are they like personal chainsaws or are they customer saws? So I was just telling him that majority of everything that's here right now that you guys see and that we work on is for customers. But every now and then I will work on some personal saws, which is not very much, just because I'm not saying I never have any time and I'm just like that busy where I can't mess around with my own stuff, but I really put that last. And so, I mean, if there's work to be done here, I mean, for my guys, for our customers, time really is money. And the longer the chainsaws sit here, the longer, they're using backup saws and they need saws, and then things happen. And the longer they sit here, the longer it takes for us to make some money. Except for when they get dropped off, we get that whole the drop-off inspection fee and whatnot. So this has some rust. Like, wow. Like, look at that. And it has been raining, so this was probably sitting out in the rain, and so this is for Rodolfo. These are his, and he works out in some nasty job sites. He does work out in the rain, but at least try to cover him up a little bit. This clutch is perfectly fine. Oh yeah, this thing has definitely seen some mud. Look at that. This thing is probably going to get, well, not probably, this thing is going to get just a little spray down with the air compressor and call it good. So, but definitely saw some mud. Look at that. It looks like dirty grease, but really it's mud. But we'll clean these up at a different time. Right now I just want to see what the heck is going on with these things. Oh yeah, look at the needle bearing. Nice and muddy. A little bit of the lithium grease still chilling there, but yeah, we'll clean this up a little bit. Morgan is asking, now Morgan is like a unisex name. Are we like, I'm just, my little brain now, it's like, are you, I mean, you don't have to answer, I guess. You know, everybody has their right to privacy, but are you like female, male? Like Morgan Wallen, dude, he's a badass, and he's a man or a male or whatever. Morgan Freeman. But Morgan's asking or saying not that movie. So the new one, the new Triple X, because that one I have not seen, and there's nothing like the original. I like the original. It's the best one in my opinion, especially the dirt bike scene when he's in the farm or at the farm. I don't even know why I tightened that thing down if that's gonna get taken off again, anyways. Okay, let's go ahead and do the carburetor now. See what version of the M-tronic we have here, and see if we can see what see how that diaphragm is. Oh my god, I was going to your Instagram page, and the R200, I think it was super dirty. Husky's asking, can I be a moderator? Sir, not at this current time. I already have, technically, we have a moderator, but I haven't seen them in some time, and I really hope they're doing well, because they were really cool. They're, you know, at that time, and they still are, the best moderator I've had in this, up until recent. Wait a second. So this, and Husky says, oh my god, I was going to your Instagram page, and that R200T, I think it was super dirty, like the fence were covered in dirt. Damn. Yeah, I've had a lot of dirty saws, man. They're nasty. So the fan housing, or rewind starter, but the fan housing, this is the fan housing. It says 201 TC, so that would mean M-tronic version. I just pulled off the air filter base, and it's definitely not an M-tronic, because it has a regular carburetor. Adjustments here on the side, so this is not an M-tronic. So this is good, because it's going to be a lot easier to diagnose, because now I can just I have a good carburetor, I have a good diaphragm here, so as long as it's the same style metering diaphragm, I can just put that in and go out and test it and see if it affects anything, or if it helps it run better. So that's great. So let's go ahead and remove this carburetor. I'm going to open up the fuel tank just to alleviate any pressure that's in there. I don't have my safety spectacles here. I have no PPE. And you guys already know I really do my best to play it safe wherever I can, especially pulling fuel lines. So don't necessarily follow what I'm doing. You definitely want to try to protect yourself. Put some WD-40 on, he'll be fine. Yeah, it should be all right. It'll be fine. So Husky's saying, freaking dying over here. What? Why are you dying, man? Don't die. By the way, can you add me so we could talk? You talking about on Instagram? I haven't been on Instagram in a little bit, but if you're following me on Instagram, yeah, dude. Once I finish up here and I'm done for the day, then yeah, for show. Which if anybody ever wants to, I haven't talked about it in some time, and I don't really like to thump it too much because, well, a lot of people don't do Instagram and stuff. But if you guys want to follow along a little bit more in depth, you can always find me on Instagram. I have the link there in the bio. But that's why I started doing my best to be good at posting on the community tab there, pictures and whatnot. So, I mean, now you're really not missing much, I guess. So, although there's still a lot of stuff that I need to, it's just too much to post. Too little time. So there it is. This is a Zama carburetor. So if I do have, so if the metering diaphragm is the same, and I know that one is good, the spare that I have in that carburetor, I'm gonna just swap it out and see if that helps anything. Because basically what's happening here is that it's just bogging down. It just bogs out. And so from what I've seen, so those metering diaphragms over time, whether you run the ethanol fuel or ethanol free, gas and rubber just don't mix. So over time, the metering diaphragm gets stiff. And so what the metering diaphragm does, with the pressure of the tank and all that, it goes up and down. And so what happens when it dries out, it gets stiff and it can no longer do the whole up and down thing. And sometimes what will happen is it'll get dried out and stuck on the closed off position. And so usually a lot of the times that'll cause starting issues. It may start, but then it just won't stay running because fuel can't get through. Or sometimes what'll happen is it'll get stuck in like that raised position and it'll start right up, idle for the most part. But then when you start giving it gas, it just bogs out and dies because it's getting too much fuel. Oh yeah. And also too, that's why I always say it's really important to clean your saws or clean your power equipment, especially in the carburetor box or around your carburetor and your intake, because sometimes if it gets so dirty and all those small little dust fines, they will sometimes, and they will start eventually finding their way into your carburetor, into your diaphragm, leaving fuel in your tanks and whatnot. So on the bottom of here, there's a little screen. And what happens is if dirt and dust get in there, it'll clog up that little screen, and it's really tiny. And that'll cause issues too, or bad fuel, because fuel turns into like a gel consistency. And so it'll clog up the little screen on the bottom here. So no matter what, even when I go to replace the metering diaphragm, I'm going to spray it out with it's out there. I use a product called Gum Out. It's carburetor and part cleaner. And so I just spray all this out. And also too, when you open up your carburetor, another important thing to check is this little needle valve. And you basically just want to push it down and see if it springs back up. So that's perfect. It feels good. Because if it doesn't, if you push it down and it stays down, it doesn't spring back up, then you have a bad needle valve. And you can buy a carburetor replacement kit that comes with, there's two variations sometimes. Looks like that gasket is bad as well. It's torn. See that? So that needs to get replaced as well. So, but, so there's two carburetor rebuild kits that you can get. One that just has your metering diaphragm and all the get a new gasket. So the one that sits on the bottom, and then the metering diaphragm, and then the two that sit on the bottom of here. And then there's another rebuild kit that you can get, different part number, that has your new gaskets, metering diaphragm, and it also has a new needle valve assembly that you can rebuild. So, but in this case, this is going to get cleaned out, the bottom two, and this one definitely needs to be replaced. Oh yeah, this is not good. So if you guys can hear, so when it gets really bad, it'll make a little like pop noise because it's so just dried out. So check this out. It's not supposed to do that. These things are paper thin. I mean, paper thin. And another good way to tell if it's really bad, you'll see like little wrinkles and crinkles in it. But this one, no good. You hear that? So definitely the metering diaphragm is going to get replaced, and I'm confident that that's going to help the issue. And then of course, new gasket. So if it's the same metering diaphragm as I have in that spare carburetor that I know has a brand new metering diaphragm in it, I'm just going to swap everything out directly from the other one to this one, and obviously go test it, clean this out, and call it a day. And then when you go to put your metering diaphragm back in, I call this the little face. I don't know why, because it looks like a little, I don't know, that's what I call it. You want to put that down, facing down. And then just make sure everything aligns. And so in this case, this is going to go like this, and then this little piece is going to go facing you, towards you, because that's where the air filter base sits on. Morgan says, and Husky, that's not true. You're not an idiot, man. Used to make a TikTok page. I've been asked, you know, like, hey, do you have a TikTok? No, and I don't plan on making one because we're already doing the YouTube thing, Instagram. I'm already consumed as it is. Morgan's asking, have you ever watched the P website? The P website? The P website? There's a P website? Like, where you can buy urine? Or what? No. Although there is websites, though, where you can buy certain things, and it's kind of weird. I don't know why people would want that. Maybe for hunting purposes. I don't know. Yang Doodle Diesel. Hey, I like that name. That's what's up. It says, howdy, boss. Been watching your stuff here and there. Yang Doodle Diesel. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming in for a little bit. Happy Thursday to you. I don't know if you're still here, but yeah, man, thank you for popping in and saying hello, and I appreciate you checking out our channel here. And what I mean by ours, I mean like everyone here, you, me, everybody. This is all a team effort here. I definitely like that name though. Yang Doodle Diesel. It just like flows good, you know? Right on. Honestly, only because I don't have solenoid valves chilling and I don't have coils laying around the shop right now, so it's really tricky for me to troubleshoot and diagnose Mtronics. Because if I had all that laying around, I would just do the process of elimination. But in this case, it's not an Mtronic. The fan housing lied to all of us, and it's just a simple carburetor design. So the metering diaphragms, I believe they're going to be the same, you know, and so that's fine. And I know I already have a metering diaphragm that I can use and gaskets and all that, so it's going to be really easy to start troubleshooting this thing. I'm also alleviated because the 261 that the flywheel sheared off and became loose, I'm relieved that it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, which means the crankshaft threads being damaged, because that would have been, well, for one, it would have been expensive. Two, it would have been one hell of a job, because at that point we have to split the crankcase. And I mean, it is what it is. I mean, that's what we have to do. But it's just like, man, thank the saw gods right now, because they're really on our side right now. And that's basically what I wanted to check. Oh yeah, and then we're gonna check just check the sleeve and make sure it's all good to go. And that's really honestly where I believe that you should start always, is check your cylinder sleeves, your pistons. Because the last thing you want to do is, you know, say for instance right now I'm like, oh, it just needs a metering diaphragm, and then you swap out replace the metering diaphragm, you do your tune-up service if it needs it, but this one definitely doesn't need it. The air filter is brand new, everything is new, spark plug. I know I haven't looked at the spark plug, but I mean, we're gonna look at it, but and then you do all that, and then you go out and test it and run it, and if you have scoring on your cylinder and everything is all just wrecked, well, you did all that for nothing. And I don't know, so always start at your cylinder sleeve just to really get an idea of what you're going to be dealing with. And it's not for nothing, because eventually, I mean, if it needs a tune-up service, it needs a tune-up. But the thing is, it's kind of a waste of time. You know, I don't know. It just depends on how you look at it or how you work on stuff. But always want to check the cylinder sleeve first, in my opinion. So I guess I'm going backwards here in what I'm saying, but because I did not check that first. But we're gonna check it now. Chill, people, man. Husky says, brother, I gotta restart my phone. My phone got really... I'm going to restart it. I'll be back. Don't read any of my comments. Alrighty, later. Good luck with that. Yank Doodle Diesel says, so what do you do there? Just repair or building? So really, I do a little bit of... Not to sound full of shit. I mean, I do a little bit of this and that. So I do a lot of mainly general repairs. So metering diaphragms, sometimes, you know, clutches, clutch springs, depending on how bad everything is, top end rebuilds, and then just various services. So like if a cylinder comes in and it has scoring, but I can clean them up, then I'll just kind of do like what I consider like a cylinder sleeve restoration. Sometimes I can save the piston and just put new rings. So I do a little bit of this and that. Modification work, timing advances, muffler modifications, bolt-on modified mufflers, a little bit of porting. I don't get too many porting jobs right now. And then sharpening services. So for the chains, blades, so like chipper blades, hedge trimmer blades, lawnmower blades. But I'm primarily and just strictly not strictly, because every now and then I'll get a leaf blower or a hedge trimmer for tune-up service or sharpening, which I've only gotten one since I've started up my little shed shop here. But I love chainsaws, so I mainly just stick to chainsaws and all that stuff. Um, so, but I do a lot of just general repairs, and then tune-up services, and then some like custom mod work. So, and like I said, the modification work is sometimes muffler modifications, or I push a lot of West Coast products here, so clutch covers, the dogs, their mufflers for like the 201s or the 2511s. I get quite a few 2511s, and those usually customers want the quarter pitch conversion, so smaller chain, it just cuts faster, smoother, cleaner cuts, some might say, and then a West Coast muffler usually, and yeah, and then I've been getting a lot more timing advances lately, so that's always fun. And then every now and then, if somebody really wants to go extra, then they'll bring their saw to get ported. And for the porting, it's very just, I call it very simple, because I don't do any machine work, just because I don't have right now, I don't have a lathe, and even if I did, it's not a matter of just putting your cylinder on and then just letting it just do its thing. Like, there's a lot to it. So for me, it's just, I just kind of do just what I call standard port work, open them up a little bit, and that's about it. So Husky says, would you like to be my moderator? Sir, we could talk about it. And I'm here in California, in Sonoma County, in a town called Windsor. That's considered Northern California. I'm, about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on traffic, north of San Francisco. And I've been doing my own thing now for almost a year, as Preferred Sawworks, as my own company and shop. And as far as working on saws, I've been doing it for not very long, about 2 years. So I started off at Ace Hardware here in town, in their power equipment shop. Started off as a sales guy, and then fell in love with the stuff, and then started doing all the sharpening, so chains, hedge trimmer blades, lawnmower blades, and then I started messing around with equipment. And that really just started because customers would come in and they'd be pissed off because the equipment had been there for sometimes a month, sometimes 2 months, or they were just like fed up with the service, I guess. I don't know. And so as a way to like just try to help and make our customers feel like they're being taken care of, and essentially putting out fires, I just kind of threw myself out there and was like, you know what, let me just see what I can do. And I would tell them straight up, I can't make any promises, but let me see what I can do. And I guess I got lucky a few times, and they liked my service. They just liked my service. And then it got to the point where not all customers, but quite a few, they wanted me to start working on their stuff directly. And so I did. Long story short, some of the people that I worked with, coworkers, they didn't like that. Then when the owner found out, the main owner, he really didn't like that, especially that I was doing side jobs, and people were just coming, a lot of people were coming to me directly. And I mean, I've always been good at building customer relationships and just making friends wherever I go, and and so I got fired. They fired me. And well, the main boss, the owner, had my manager call and fire me on my day off. And I know they regret it, but it's okay, because you know what? It helped me really focus on what I'm doing here, and it's been a great journey. So I started up my own shop here, and our YouTube channel. Well, our YouTube channel, I literally started it July 1st, and then I was already doing my own thing since, like, I don't know, like early June. So, but as far as like really establishing myself here as Preferred Sawworks, also July 1st. So it's been almost 1 year. So it's been pretty awesome. Yank Doodle Diesel says, I like West Coast stuff. Me too, man. Their bark boxes, Gordy does one hell of a job at putting those together. But I also really like Egan stuff. Egan Performance Saws. That man's really cool. Um, you know, I follow him on Instagram. He recently just followed me on Instagram. We chat every now and then. He, you know, as far as like, hey, you know, thanks for the shout out. Thanks for, you know, so he's really cool. And he builds he builds some great saws. And then, but I like his stuff too, like his straight shot. And the only thing that I will say, as far as appearance, you know, the bark boxes are beautiful, man. Those, phew. But as far as performance, I truly do believe that Egan's still has the upper hand on performance. They don't look as pretty as Gordy's bark boxes, but performance-wise, which is really what matters, he knows what he's doing. That's what I run on my little Echo 2511, his little straight shot pipe. Thing is rowdy as hell, but it's badass. But again, Gordy's mufflers for the 2511s, they're great too. So I don't know. Not to mention the 201 mufflers. Awesome. Yank Doodle Diesel says, oh, excuse me. Husky says, if you had to drop off the side, where would you find it at? What? Sir, what are you saying? Yankee Doodle, or Yankee Doodle. Yank Doodle says, I've got a Symington 451 square grinder myself. I like square ground chains. I like them too. I really do. And that's one thing that I actually want to get better at. Because since I started doing my own thing here, at the shop, you know, I would always try to push for, you know, I really want to start doing hand filing, because I think hand filing is the way. But there it's like, no, man, just use the grinder. And I was kind of spoiled, and I would just use the Stihl USG. But eventually I wanted to start working on my hand filing. And then I started doing a lot of I always research. Like when I wasn't at the shop, I'd come home and be doing research, YouTube University, especially when I wanted to get into porting. And then, you know, of course, watching Buck and Billy and everybody else. And then Aaron Lynch, which always shout out to Aaron. That dude, you know, he always says I'm just a guy, that he's just a guy, but he's a really good person, always willing to help. And I'm very grateful to be able to call him a buddy of mine. So he's freaking awesome. So he'll pop in every now and then, but he's a very busy man. So anyhow, and also too, big shout out to Erica from Married with Small Engines too. She popped in on the chat on our live stream one day, and I was just like mind blown. But she's a very busy woman. She has a very impressive shop, but every now and then, you know, she'll pop in as well, and it's just really cool, man. What happens when you stay consistent and you know, you just treat people right, I guess. Anyways, but anyways, oh, so what I was saying is, eventually I was like, man, we need to start offering square ground, because everybody, you know, it's badass. And then the manager was like, oh, you know, I was actually thinking about getting a square ground grinder. And I was like, what? But they're expensive, man. But they're freaking badass. But I also want to learn how to do more square ground hand filing as well. So this is the last thing I want to check. It's just to see what the cylinder sleeve looks like. Looks damn pretty to me. So at this point, spark plug is brand new. So at this point, just give it a little wipe down, literally re-grease the needle bearing, just wipe it down, swap out and replace the metering diaphragm. and then go out and do some testing and call it good. So, and then I just gotta reach out to Rodolfo and just be like, look, man, this thing needs a flywheel. I don't know what the hell happened or how that happened, but the flywheel became loose and it sheared off the key, and now we need a flywheel. But honestly, that's the best news I could give him, because to have to say, oh man, you need a flywheel and a crankshaft, that's not good. Okay. And we got, I'm going to just say B in the house. I think that's Russian, but I can't understand it. But much love to B. Husqvarna video, and I'm going to see a Husky. Oh, Husky, we got one for you. Well, I do have a couple Husqvarnas here. Well, you guys already seen that one, the 288. I haven't seen that in a while. That's for our customer Leon from Turlock, which we're just waiting for him to be ready to get some parts ordered and get that saw going. I also have a 564 here, I think it is. 564. It's a pro saw, but it's not an XP. It's just a 564. It needs a new top end. That I have no idea when they're gonna pull the, hit the green light on that, if they even decide to. So it's been pretty hard to find a top end for that. I mean, the dealer has them, but they're always like, oh, it's going to take forever. But we have a 584 here, a 585 or whatever the hell it is, or a 580 or some, I don't even know what the hell it is. It's like, dude, we don't want to buy a new saw. We just want to buy the top end. But of course, they're just trying to make a sale. Otsley says, I got to go. Otsley, appreciate you for being here. I apologize if I missed any of your comments. I feel like I did, honestly, and I feel bad. So if I did, I apologize. Husky says, I don't get a shout out. No shout outs here, man. But you know what? Husky's a badass dude, so go check him out. He's an up and coming YouTube rock star. No, but no estoy trabajando ahorita, no. Yeah. No, but his channel's up and coming though. His channel has grown a lot in the last, I don't know what, like couple months, if that. So go check him out and see what he's up to, and especially if you like Husqvarna chainsaws. So Yank Doodle says, I've done hand square filing for around 10-11 years till I bought this grinder. And it's no, hand filing is very, it's not a matter of just, and I'm preaching to the choir at this point to you, Yank. You already know, but for those of you that don't know, it's not just a matter of grabbing your file and just grinding away. It's whether you're doing square or round. It's almost kind of like an art. You really have to focus and pay attention to what you're doing, because even with the hand file, things can go south very quickly. You accidentally don't focus, and you change up your angle a little bit, and you go a couple times. I mean, you got to be very just patient, and you got to really understand what the end goal is and what you're trying to do. Especially running a grinder too, you got to be just as careful, because even sometimes I've noticed, at least using the USG, you say your angles, so it might be like a 35 and a 15 or whatever the hell you want to say, and then like up here it's maybe like a 30. Even that you can't always go off of what it requires or what it's asking for. You really got to see what's going on, and especially using a grinder, you got to be careful, because you can easily, and you will, if you don't pay attention or if you're not careful, burn up your cutters. Even just the slightest bit is not good. So chain sharpening, I guess, in general is very it's like an art, man. You can't rush it. You got to just really be careful and pay attention. So And I think, honestly, in my opinion, even though I always say, oh, hand filing is the way, blah, 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 you know, um, thankfully, most all of our customers, they're badasses. They sharpen their own chains, but every now and then I'll get batches of chains, and I don't have a grinder, and just to cut down on some noise just because of where I live here with grandma and grandpa and the neighbors, and it's all HOA infested over here. Um, I just do hand filing. But man, sometimes if I have like 10 or 15, like 10 to 12 chains, or just a good little batch, and they're not just little 55 drivers for the top handles, it takes a little minute. It takes a little minute. Um, and sometimes I do wish I had a grinder. And that's the only time that I would say, honestly, that's where it would be very beneficial. If you're getting a lot of chains to sharpen, um, I think grinding would probably be a grinder would be a good investment. But if you're getting every now and then, like a few chains here and there, anytime a saw comes in and it has its bar and chain, just part of the service, I clean the bar, like inside the grooves. I make sure everything is good. If it needs bar dressing, I'll do the bar dressing, and I'll, just like clean off the body of the bar, and then I'll sharpen the chain. And anytime I go to sharpen chains, I clean the chains first, just to make it look nicer, and two, just to kind of help protect your files. And I don't know, it's just a little touch, just like cleaning the saws. You guys already know, anytime a saw comes in, it's part of the service. I clean them and call it a day. And I don't charge extra for cleaning unless the saw comes in just for cleaning. Then I will charge, what I feel is appropriate. So, but yeah, no, but hand filing though, I mean, it's or just chain sharpening in general. It's an art, man. Same thing with blades, and it's not just a matter of grab your grind. You got to be very careful. Yank Doodle says lots of trial and error till you get it built into your part of your muscle memory, and that's true. It really that's actually very true. Muscle memory, I agree, because when I do get a lot of chains, or when I get them consistently, um, it feels more like a second nature. You're just boom, you already kind of know, and you already kind of see the cutters of how they look, the condition, the shape, and everything. But then when I stop getting chains, even just for a little while, and then I go back, it's just like I don't feel lost, but it really is muscle memory. It's just you know takes a little bit longer to warm up, and find your rhythm and all that. So it really is a muscle memory for sure. And even grinding too, really, I think. So just like anything, repetition. Okay. So as far as inspections go, that's all I got for right now. Um, I think tomorrow. Well, no, I don't think it has to be tomorrow, so I can go out and do some testing, because the weather was really nice today. I don't think there's supposed to be any rain here, because you guys already know when it rains, it kind of puts a damper on going out and testing saws, especially cleaning, because the air compressor station's outside. Um, so we'll come back tomorrow. I'm gonna go through my graveyard of spare parts and see what I got going, and pull that carburetor and just get things ready for tomorrow. And then we'll come back on, replace the metering diaphragm, and then see what else. And then um, tear down my 461, because we still need to kind of inspect it a little bit more. We already know that the cylinder sleeve looks great, plenty of compression. I mean, that thing is so healthy. But I just want to check out the clutch and just tear it down for cleaning, because that's all it needs, is a really good cleaning. And you guys already know how we do it. It's gonna look amazing. And then we'll go out and test the 201 and see if we get any luck, and then just keep the show rolling. Um, Husky says, y'all say rip and tear until it's done. Yeah. And then Yank Doodle says, hit the thumbs up, guys. This guy deserve it. Shit. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate the love. I'm glad I'm glad you, or you know, I appreciate you hanging out for a little bit, taking time out of your day, and everybody else that's been watching and possibly coming in and out, and just, you know, just like always, you know, taking time out of your guys' day to come and hang out for a little bit and shoot the shizzy, and so I really appreciate you guys. So these live streams, I'm telling you, these live streams started off as just having something random going on in the background here until I started doing more like how-to videos, which I still haven't. It's just, it takes time to make videos, and it's kind of difficult to make and record videos just like on a certain topic and a certain thing. But the live streams, like I tell you guys, it was just kind of like a trial thing just to see what kind of response I would get, because every time I'm working on something, I'm kind of just like crazy status, you know, just talking to myself, kind of mumbling stuff, and now we're here, you know, months in, almost a year in. I've met so many great people, and you guys are great. And we got an M&G, man, always coming back when we're all done. How dare you have a life and go and do stuff, okay? No, I'm just kidding. Not a whole lot. I mean, we just checked out some basic stuff. Found out that the fan housing, or some know it, the rewind starter, it deceived us because it's not a TC. It's just a regular 201, meaning it doesn't have an M-tronic carburetor. So that's good because it's going to make it a lot easier to troubleshoot and diagnose, because I do have a metering diaphragm laying around for it, and I'm pretty sure it'll be the same. So, so that's great. Everything else looks great. It's just a little dirty. A lot of dirt, man. They hit a lot of like muddy dirt. So it's just going to get a little cleaning, a little wipe down. Air filter is like new. Spark plug is pretty much new. And so tomorrow we're going to come back. I'm going to go through my parts that are laying around, grab that carburetor that I know has the brand new diaphragm, and hopefully it's the same. I know it's a Eczema, so, but it could differ, you know, it could differ a little bit. And then go out and test it. And then the 261, everything looks good, except for the flywheel. It needs a new flywheel because somehow it became loose and it sheared off the key. And that one has the casted, I believe it's called a casted flywheel, where it's not an actual key that sits in the crankshaft. It's the ones that are like molded or casted into the flywheel. So I'm relieved that the crankshaft didn't get damaged as far as threads, and so that's really good. So at this point it's just a flywheel and a little cleaning, and that's pretty much it. So I think Rodolfo got a little lucky here. So, and not that the M-tronic systems are horrible to try to troubleshoot and diagnose, but if you don't have parts laying around like solenoid valves or coils, it gets tricky, because then you have to order stuff in, and you may or may not use it, which I should just order at least like one green, a couple red, maybe a couple coils for each, and so I can troubleshoot. But certain things I try not to buy unless I actually know I'm going to need them or use them. But I should probably invest in something like that, because I do get primarily a lot of 201s. I get quite a few 200Ts, all pro saws, 261s, 362s, older saws, 044. I mean, I get all the cool stuff here, so that's really cool. And then I have a 250 here that needs a new carburetor, but that's about it. But yeah, so you didn't really miss a whole lot of stuff. But anyhow, guys, so that's pretty much it for now. It's gonna be, well, it's only 5:50, but it's almost 6 o'clock, and I got to go to that special little meeting at 7:30. I know there's plenty of time for that. I mean, it's almost a little over an hour and a half, but I kind of want to just chill for a little bit, eat a little something. Of course, you know, I got to eat something. And then we'll come back, work on that 201, and then depending on how that goes, after that we can mess around a little bit with our personal stuff. So we're gonna get back to that 461, actually tear it down for cleaning, and do the inspection like I planned on doing yesterday. But man, what a day it turned out to be. So, and then keep the show rolling because I still have quite a few saws here. I mean, we still have Alonzo's 440 that's going to get a new piston, and then I'm going to clean up the cylinder sleeve just a little bit. It just needs a little touch, just for good measure. I don't think the little bit of transfer that it has is going to really affect performance, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to just hit it a little bit, at least just on that one side. And I still have other saws, so we have some 461s here, and a 201, a 261, a 362. I got quite a few saws, so there's still a lot of work to be done, and hopefully we keep getting more. So all right, Yank Doodle, I'm out. He says I'm out, but keep it up. You doing good on here? You got it going on. I'll be around. Hell yeah, man. Thank you. Appreciate you. You're probably already gone, but I really appreciate the kind words and the positivity and just the love and support. And yeah, Liam, we're definitely gonna clean up that saw. Definitely the 461. That's all it needs, man. It's gonna look great just with the cleaning because it's really a good condition 461. Definitely healthy. You guys already heard it and saw it run. Not in wood yet, but it's ready. Just a good cleaning, and then along the way, just some cosmetic stuff that I personally want to do. Not that it needs it, but new air filter cover, new shroud, and that's it. And then eventually, get into some fun stuff. Maybe a West Coast clutch cover. I really like those Pro Safety 4-point dogs, so I think I'm actually going to just leave those. But we'll see how it works with the West Coast clutch cover. Because I do like the West Coast stuff, I do. But sometimes those dogs are a little excessive. They're big, man. They take away from the bar length a little bit too. So I don't know. We'll see how they match up once I get a clutch cover. And then as far as the muffler goes, I know some of you guys are probably thinking, oh, for sure a West Coast bark box. But honestly, I want to go Egan on that one because I want to just run more Egan stuff, bring in more Egan. Because like I said, like I always say, Gordy's bark boxes will always be the winners on appearance and looks, and they're just damn good looking bark boxes or mufflers. But I really go for performance. And like I say, I really do believe that Egan's straight shot muffler really has, the upper hand on performance. I'm not saying 100%, but the man knows what he's doing. And so does Gordy, so don't take that wrong, the wrong way. But Egan's, though, that's what I want to run. That's what I want to run on my 461. And and that's pretty much it. As far as, and then of course, do a little timing advance on it. And so, but that's all in the future. I mean, I got to be kind of smart on the financial stuff right now, especially that, I kind of need to be ready in case, in case we got to move the shop somewhere else. So that's more important. And either way, that's the goal, to level up and move somewhere else where we can do running all in one place and just do more stuff. As far as running saws and noise and causing a ruckus. So just got to be smart. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and clean that up tomorrow, Liam. Or at least tear it down and mess around with it a little bit more, because I haven't really gotten the chance to do that. And yeah, so that's what we got going on. Liam is asking, do you really need 2 dogs, though? Of course you do, man. I mean, maybe not, but yes. But the Pro Safety dogs, the 4-point dogs, those are nice because they're not super crazy like the West Coast. Um, I really like the design of them. I didn't know that they were the Pro Safeties until I did some research yesterday, just because I've never seen the Pro Safeties other than the 5 points. The 5-point dogs, I don't like them. I just don't like the way they look. But these 4-point dogs, they're nice. They seem very durable. Um, they don't seem to have um, such of a weak point like the West Coast dogs, because I've seen problems with those, especially on the 500 eyes, snapping crankcases and whatnot, um, or bending the dogs. I mean, bending, too. But the Pro Safety 4-points, those are sweet. They're really cool. So does it? Don't like. I mean, I guess you don't have to have two dogs, but you get better leverage, I feel like, and better grab. But but yeah, so I definitely have plans for the 461, but you know, right now I gotta kind of like juggle some things right now. So got to be ready for the unknown. But that I'll start doing stuff to it soon. So especially once more, repairs get picked up and done, and there's going to be a little room for play for sure. But I really got to remind myself not to get too carried away, because I tend to do that. I just go full force, so I got to just be careful. Um, Plus I'm not really in a hurry to mod the 461 or really anything, because I don't do a whole lot of cutting right now. Um, so really, even if I mod it out, and we got IBS Win in the house, my friend, welcome back. Good to see you. So I mean, I can mod it. We can do all that, mufflers and muffler modifications. Because I would replace the exhaust casing with the Egan, and then I'd probably open up the muffler a little bit more, like I did for Manny's 044. Timing advance, um, and then what? It already has the Pro Safety 4-point dogs, which I'm going to keep those, and then a West Coast clutch cover just for, at that point, just for looks and whatever. But the whole point is, if I do all that and I'm not really running the saw, I mean, it's just going to be kind of money just sitting there, when I can be, maybe buying some solenoid valves, the coils, and things that I actually need here at the shop to do repairs. So and the couple bills that I have, and that's about it. And of course food, because you come on, you guys know. But as of right now, thankfully, thanks to our customers that bring us saws and everything else, um, really truly, I'm still blessed, and I'm really blessed to have you guys and my YouTube family. And yeah, that's pretty much it. IBS Win says, just got a Dixon 4421 mower. I'm not familiar with those, but are those pretty good? Are those, what engine is it running? Briggs, Kohler, Honda, Gowie? That's badass though. Badass. It's always fun to get new equipment, new toys as I call it. Oh boy. I'll have to look that one up later, because I'm not familiar with those ones. Liam says, "How do you sharpen a lawnmower blades if you don't have any?" So that's if a customer brings me lawnmower blades. I sharpen them with an angle grinder, and then I balance them um, with just simple, like a nail in the wall, and then make sure that the blades are level. The reason why you want to balance lawnmower blades is because if they're not balanced, you're going to get a whole lot of vibration, a lot of shaking. It's just going to be like, da, 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 just like that. It's going to make that noise too. Just, da, da, da. So, because think about it, you're taking material off of two ends. So if you take off too much material on one side, well, it's going to make it uneven. And so you want to take off even material on both sides. And then that's why you got to make sure that they're balanced. So that way there's no excessive vibration and rattling. So, but yeah, somebody actually brings me lawnmower blades. I haven't had any here at the shop. I've gotten hedge trimmer blades before, chipper blades. I get those. I actually have a set that I need to work on for my buddy Victor for his Bandit 18XP chipper, and I just hit him with an angle grinder. So, IBS says Briggs 13 horse. Haven't used it yet. Not familiar with it either. Hey, Briggs ain't bad. Not too bad. I heard they really like to guzzle that oil, but that's just, I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe it's the model, or I don't know. But no, that's badass. Yeah, so just, it does more damage, probably just from, the rattling and just that they're just not rotating evenly. And so, yeah, it just causes problems. You want to make sure they're even. So, so after you grind, then you just, like I said, you can do simple. Just put them, tap a nail into the wall, hang it, and then you'll see it. You'll see it move. And then from there, you just got to figure out where to take more off and, how to just counterbalance it. So, but all right, guys, it's 6:02 now. I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream, but I really appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody hitting that thumbs up. The only reason I'm even mentioning that is just because, well, I appreciate you guys for the support, and it's been cool because, more of you have been hitting the thumbs up, and that's really awesome. And either way, I appreciate you guys being here no matter what, whether you're thumbs downing, thumbs upping, no matter what, and especially the comments, the chat, they're a lot more lively and active. And, you know, even though lately we've been getting some silly people in here asking silly questions, but that's okay. It happens. I mean, it's social media, but thankfully though, everybody's chill for the most part, positive, supporting, encouraging. So I really appreciate that, guys, a lot. So IBS Win says 9 o'clock here. So 3 hours ahead. So what? Now Midwest is what? 2 hours ahead? East Coast? Liam is asking again, Liam. Come on, man. Wait, did you just change your username again on your channel, or is that on your actual... You have like 20 different channels, dude. I'm pretty sure the one that I subscribe to is this one, the Liam's plays with chainsaws. And guys, just know that Liam and I, we mess around like that, all right? I keep it chill because I don't really like to mess around too much, just because sometimes, whoever, you might be joking around and maybe, they're not in the joking mood, and just sometimes I've just seen shit happen. So I keep it chill with you guys. But he's asking again how do you use a sharpened lawnmower blades if you don't have any? Like, I'm guessing you're just asking how I sharpen them, and I already told you, man. Angle grinder. So, and I definitely don't use the blades because I don't even have a lawnmower. I don't even have a lawn. And I just changed. But you don't have one. Have one what? Liam? A lawnmower? I know. An angle grinder? I do have an angle grinder. I do, sir, I do. It's a very old school, very loud angle grinder, but I do definitely have one. What are you talking about, man? What you talking about, Willis? All right, guys, we're out of here for sure now. So much love to everybody. Liam, we'll be in touch, man. And if anybody ever wants to keep up with me outside of YouTube, if you care to, if you don't... I'm sure you get enough of me on these live streams as it is, but if you guys just want to follow along a little bit more, a little bit closely, I have Instagram. I have the link to my Instagram on YouTube here. So um, that's what I'm saying to Liam, that we'll be in touch. 'Cause, oh, we're on Instagram. So, but much love to everybody. Much love. Um, IBS says, "What happened to your face? I never noticed it before." So it's just a little. So lately, I've been dealing with eczema. That's what I think this all is, and the shine, because you'll see it, the shine, not so much right now, but sometimes I look very shiny. It's just some simple Aquaphor, because with eczema, you really want to keep your face moisturized. And I've tried so many different lotions and creams, some that are specific for eczema, and they don't do nothing. They make it worse sometimes. And and Aquaphor doesn't really have much, and it's the only thing that actually makes my face not look as freaking crazy. But that's the only thing that I don't like about Aquaphor, is that it's very shiny. It's basically like Vaseline, and so my skin is just always really dry. It just soaks it up, like it just absorbs it like crazy. So I tend to just cake it on a little bit. So, but eventually, I'll go in, I'll get into a doctor and go to a dermatologist, and you know, there's real no cure for eczema. So really, eczema, I mean, people just develop it over time. A lot of the times, it's because of it's weird stuff. So it's like based off of like immune system, hormone imbalance. It could be from diet. Um, it could also things that really flared up, like stress, anxiety, uh, alcohol drinking, lack of sleep, which that's where I've been really lacking, because my sleep patterns are not very good, but I've been working on them. Um, and you know, fragrances and things like that. But I use all the same stuff and whatever. And really just from dry skin. So a lot of different things, a lot of different factors. A lot of it's just environmental or like personal stuff. But I started taking some vitamins, just some simple vitamins like vitamin E, just certain things that help skin health, and then got on a probiotic that I take daily. Um, definitely staying on top of my water intake as usual. But the main thing is sleep, because sleep really is everything. It really affects, hormones. It affects your mood, your brain, a lot of different things. So, um, so yeah, but the Aquaphor though, I mean, it looks okay now. I know it looks pretty crazy still, but compared to what it sometimes looks like, it looks like I've been like, I don't know what's going on, dude. So, and really it just got this bad maybe like months ago. Maybe like what, like 2 months ago, 3 months ago. So, and again, sleep, the diet. I mean, obviously, you guys know, big boy eats, okay, but I'm not like fast food every day, and you know, I did have some fast food this weekend, but it was Valentine's Day weekend. We were just kind of treating ourselves, but before that, I hadn't had any fast food since January 30th. I know that's only a couple weeks, but for me, that's pretty good. A lot of home cooked food, um, and whatnot. So IBS says, okay, I hope you don't mind me asking, just didn't know. No, man, it's all good. It's all good. I had bad dry knuckles last month. Don't look bad. Just didn't notice it the other day. Yeah, and sometimes, like I said, sometimes it looks really good, and sometimes it looks a little bit more noticeable. But these last couple of days, just because I kind of started slacking a little bit on the moisturizing, so it was starting to get pretty bad. So lately, I've just been caking that shit on, man, just like lathering it up, which is really what you got to kind of do. But that's the only thing I don't like about the Aquaphor, is that It'll make you shiny. It'll make you look like you're sweating. It'll make you look like you got the most oily and like oily skin, but it's just the Aquaphor. So, but it seems to be the only thing that I can put on my face that doesn't make it worse. So, but anyhow, but yeah, guys, Giovanni Gomez says, any new saws? So, customer saws, yes, quite a few. A couple 261s, 362, a 250, um, 201T. Well, yeah, 201T, and then I have a whole bunch of others that are still that are here that are like in various stages of progress. Um, the most recent one is the 261 and the 201T that we just did right now. And then before that, Alonzo's 440 came back to us because it needs a new piston, which we're just waiting for the piston to get delivered at the shop, at the place where he ordered it, which I don't know why it still hasn't showed up because that's not like them. So he bought it from he ordered it from the power equipment place that I used to work at. Um, and then yeah, I have a lot of saws here right now, and I'm thankful for that. But as far as personal saws, we did just get a 461R, so I'm really excited about that. Hopefully we'll get to mess around with that tomorrow, tear it down for cleaning, um, and very healthy 461. It's just a little dirty, but it's very good condition. And and what else? And then a few weeks before that, like a month ago, I got a 200T and a 201, which that I haven't had a chance to mess with either, just because I've been focusing on customer saws as I should. So but yeah, quite a few, man. We got quite a few here. I just noticed how thick your eyebrows are. Look good. Thanks, dude. Thank you. I appreciate it. I do my eyebrows as well. So if anybody ever is wondering, yes, because they're bushy, man. And then put a little of that Aquaphor in there to make them just kind of stay in place. And I don't know. I feel like it. We gotta do things to like make ourselves feel good. Like, it's just like making sure you shower, you smell good, you feel good. Um, keep the beard lined up. I mean, whatever you got to do. Self care. It really affects mood and just like, I don't know. We just gotta do things to make ourselves feel good. Um, Giovanni Gomez says over here in San Jose they suck ass fixing them, bro. Well, hey, man. You know, I don't know if I'm better than them, but no, like, okay, wow, that sounds really like fucking full of shit. But no, man, I mean, San Jose is not that far from here. I mean, my furthest customer is out in Turlock. I get a lot of guys that come from the Bay Area, so like Novato, San Rafael area, Marin. Um, some come from Sac sometimes. Um, if you're ever in the area, man, let me know. So I get a lot of Stihls primarily because that's what a lot of my guys run. My peeps run over here. Echoes, some Husqvarna, but primarily Stihl, and I get them all. 201s, 200Ts, 362s, everything down to like the O series, O44s, O46s, 360s, O36. I mean, I get all the cool. Like I'm fortunate, man. I get a lot of the cool stuff. Um, so and then I get the Echo, quite a few Echoes, the 2511s, and those usually come in for a little TLC, a little cleaning, tune-up service, and then usually a lot of guys they want to do the quarter pitch conversion and then do a muffler modification, um, and then I do other mods too, like timing advances. I can do porting as well. I don't get a whole ton of porting, just because I don't know. For one, that's an investment, and usually a good muffler modification and a little timing advance, it gives them a little more zip. And but yeah, man, if you're ever in the area, let me know. I'm here in Sonoma County. Um, but yeah, I enjoy taking stuff down to block and putting in the back. Yeah, it's good to tinker around, man. PV200 leaf blowers. Oh, those are good. Those are good. The 200, yeah. if I remember correctly, a little handheld, right? Yeah, we have one. I have one here. It's my grandfather's, and those things are freaking badass. Those are freaking sweet. Um, Liam says, "What's the fastest way to blow up a chainsaw?" Probably some straight gas. Just put some straight gas in it. But there's a lot of different ways you can essentially burn up a chainsaw. You know, so uh, straight gas or a pour fuel mixture. That'll be a very quick way to do it. Um, Running dual chains, um, too tight of a chain, plus dual chain. I mean, just different ways. But probably a pour fuel mixture. So, all right, guys, we're out of here now for sure. I keep doing this whole Minnesota goodbye, um, but this time we are out of here. But much love to you guys, and I appreciate everybody commenting and watching and hanging around for a little bit. Um, if you can get to it easy, let us see it. If not, that's fine. I can get kind of easy. We'll see if I can bring it out tomorrow and show you guys. But those are great. Those are great leaf blowers. But anyways, guys, much love to everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow if all goes well. Meaning, you know, as long as we make it to tomorrow, we'll be here. The plan will be 201. Just do that quick little metering diaphragm and just kind of do that. That won't be a very long live stream because depending on the weather, I want to go out and test it. Could always do another live stream when I'm out there testing as well. And then everything else is already caught up as far as repairs. Stuff is waiting for parts. Inspections are done. These were the last two that I had to do right now. I did another 261 earlier for my buddy Victor. That was a quick fix. I actually made a mistake. I'm going to post a video of that later. So it came in for a new bar and chain. And I gave it a new sprocket to be able to run a 3/8 pitch. It got a 20-inch light bar, 050 gauge, full chisel. It actually was a skip tooth chain. On that, I would probably run a full comp, but that's what I had. And so I gave it the good old preferred touch, cleaned it up, pulled the carburetor and cleaned it out because they had gas in it for a while. But I made a mistake. And so the way that the impulse line sits in that 261, it kind of gets held in place with the little plastic piece. And so anyways, what happened, usually you can just pull the carb off and then put it back in and you don't have to worry about connecting your lines because it just sits back in place. But I didn't notice that the line came out of place. So after I cleaned the carburetor and all that, I put it back on. I assumed that everything went in like normal, like usual. Not this time. He called me like the other day and he's like, "Hey man, the chainsaw's not starting." I'm like, "What?" Because we both know it runs really good. I started it up at the yard. It all worked good. It literally came in just for the new bar and chain and the sprocket. And I'm like, "Oh shit, man." I'm like, "Fuck." I'm like, "Well, just bring it by as soon as you have time." He's a really busy guy. Shout out to Triex and Victor. And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "So he dropped it off this morning." And I just retraced my steps. I thought maybe I could have easily installed the carburetor or the put the metering diaphragm on backwards, you know. So like normally that little face, you want to have it sit facing down onto the needle valve. I thought maybe, because I did it pretty damn quick, just because I wanted to get it done and out of here for him because he really needed it. So I thought maybe I goofed up on that. Well, anyways, I pulled out the carburetor. I slid it off. It was pretty easy. And I'm like, wait a second. And actually, I think it was before I slid off the carburetor. The line wasn't connected. And usually you got to kind of wiggle it off a little bit. So that's when I suspected. And my gut was like, dude. And then I saw that the line was sitting out of place. And I was like, the freaking line was not seated properly. So, but still, I kept on checking everything else, making sure everything was good. long story short, I properly installed everything and hooked everything up, went out and tested it, and that's all it was. So lesson learned to me, um, just be a little more thorough, I guess. Just be more careful. Be not to assume. And I know some are probably thinking, why didn't you run the saw? Well, because again, I assumed it was already running. It's not here because it's not running. I did a simple carb clean, put it back on, blah blah blah. I didn't want to have to run out to the testing site and because I was like, well, it already runs, and I assumed everything was how it normally usually goes, but it didn't this time. So it was just a little lesson learned, little wake up. um, but it's all good now, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. So I did a 261 earlier as well. So with that, now we out of here. We are out. Ever seen a white GT 2055 mower? We have one. No, I haven't. But yeah, no, I hate waiting for parts too, but that's how it happens. But anyways, we got to go now. So much love to everybody. M&G, peace. And you'll see that 261 video later. So it's pretty funny. Well, it's not funny, but you know, got to own up to your mistakes, man. All right. Laters, guys. Peace. Oh, IBS, I almost left you hanging. I'm not too sure yet. I'm not too sure exactly what time, but I do want to try to do it earlier because, well, just to go out and test and everything. And, but it's probably going to be somewhere around the early afternoon. So like 12, maybe 11. I got to buy some fuel because I used up the last of the fuel that I had. So, but either way, I'll post something on our community tab just to give you guys a heads up or give you guys an estimate of around what time. But definitely going to be a lot earlier than this one for sure. So, and I'm planning on doing a couple. So we're just going to do that quick metering diaphragm replacement. I'm going to dig out everything before and then go out and test, come back, and then we can mess around with the 461 and get that all ready for cleaning and whatnot. So that's kind of the plan right now. So alrighty, guys, give me his meaning of earlier. Is that like 9 o'clock at night? Nah, probably like midnight. I always do run a little late, but I'll let you guys know. So anyways, much love to you guys, and yeah, I'll see you on Instagram, Liam, and anybody else that wants to follow along. If you have Instagram, if you like Instagram, link in the bio. All right, laters, guys, and have a good night or morning wherever you are.